working hard. Yeah, I learned to be resilient. I wish I were a world apart. Yeah, I never knew what I was talking about. I know I looked amused, but I was bottled up. Worst part is I brought this on myself. It's too big, but better to start again. I wish I could break free, back to where I'm supposed to be. I wish I could break free, back to where I'm supposed to be. I'm not in my natural habitat. Sometimes I wanna hit the walls. These boots will walk in the beaten path, only until the souls wear off. Whoever knew what I was good enough? Maybe it was too soon for me to be moving on. Worst part is I brought this on myself. It's too big, but better to start again. I wish I could break free, back to where I'm supposed to be. I wish I could break free, back to where I'm supposed to be.
Oh man,
Here we are.
wow, that's weird because it's usually like that's where the music starts, and now we're ending there. Okay,
I kind of wish I had a mariachi band in the background that would take over the song right now.
you do have the fire pit going though. That's pretty classy. I gotta say.
I took
So-
it outside today.
Yeah, we're outside. So here we are, 100th episode, Pro Sound Web Signal and Noise
Holy
podcast.
shit.
It's been quite a journey. As always, I am Michael Lawrence. I am joined by my co-hosts Kyle Churnside and Chris Leonard. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
Best
What's
friends.
up?
Best friends
Yeah, man.
forever.
Yep. And I don't know if it's too early to say, but we got a lot of cool stuff going on tonight. So I'll just say, if anyone's going to the Church Facilities Expo this fall, I believe it's in Dallas, the CFX trade show.
Houston.
Is it Houston?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I've gotten word that not only are some good friends of the show going to be down there,
Party.
but the Pro Sound Web loudspeaker demo event that's going to be happening as part of that event, hosted by Signals and Noise. So we're going to be down there. We're going to be hosting the show. I'm going to be running the console, and two very handsome MCs here. I got to reverse right there. Two very handsome MCs are going to be running it. I'm really looking forward to that. And I guess Willa Snow's going to come hang out with us too. So we get to jam with Willa. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Willa.
All right, fellas. So we got a lot coming up tonight. We have special guest Jim Yakabuski coming by. I failed to check my calendar. It was so funny because when Jim texted me to confirm, I was so worried about getting them the correct time that I missed the fact that I didn't get him the correct date. So that's on me. But Jim will be here. We got some killer prizes coming up. We want to say big thanks to Alan Heath. They're giving away an SQ5 mixing console. Audix is giving away a Premier mic bundle.
Awesome.
We got stuff from Deadmau5. We got stuff from Ethan Weiner. We got stuff from John Huntington. Chris has got like, look at that T-shirt, Kyle. Very nice. Very nice. I dressed up
by tacos.
and I got my Taco Bell shirt on as well.
Which, by the way, we're going to give away 5 of the shirts that Kyle's wearing tonight. So 5 of them. Not sure how we're going to give them away, but we're going to give them away tonight.
Yep. That's going to be happening as well. And you got some, like, Chris, you got some kind of like off the cuff freebie stuff going on too from a couple of our guests and stuff.
We do. Jay Clark from Kinetic Audio Technology has offered to give away 2 things: a set of Star Wars fader caps for Yamaha CL or QL console.
Darth Vader.
I'll just say now, I want to make sure those get to somebody who wants them. So if you want the Star Wars fader caps for the CL or QL console, drop us in the comments as to why you want them and how you're going to use them. Secondly, he's also offered to give up. He has a custom GPI controller for a Yamaha QL or CL console. Super cool. If you're not sure what it is, kineticaudioTechnology.com. Check it out. Let us know why you want that as well. We'll make sure we get to somebody who's going to use that. So, again, if you're a big Yamaha CL QL user, let us know why you want either of those, and we'll pick a winner there.
That being said, you said GPIO, right?
Yeah.
Because my HM64 has a big old GPIO port on it, so I might have to see what I can sort out as well. I mean, reflecting back 100 episodes, I have to say, wait. What?
Arm's length.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's stand by the routine. Still, I think maybe some people thought that at some point we were going to become polished and rehearsed and professional on this show. But I think it's not going to happen. Chris Leonard, what's the coolest thing you have within arm's length?
I've been waiting for this one for a video. So
okay.
I have it's technically 4 things, but I have 4 challenge coins. You ever heard of, you ever heard of a challenge coin?
Yeah.
So I'll run through these real quick. The first one I got was I did a show for the National Guard, and it was actually a 3-star general of the National Guard, which is the highest star general you can get from the National Guard. So I got one from him. For those who don't know, a challenge coin is basically it's like a token you get for like service, like a thank you for doing something like without necessarily being asked. So I got one of those. I got one from Secret Service, Philadelphia division. When the Pope came to Philly, I literally, Secret Service guy came over. He said, "Hey, you got some gaff tape?" And I was like, "Yeah, here you go." He comes back to hand back to me the roll of gaff tape, and when he shook my hand, he had put this coin in my hand, which was cool.
Sneaky. It's funny that a Secret Service guy would know what gaff tape is.
Right?
Hey, Chris.
Good on him.
John Huntington says, "Hey, can you guys put the link on the Facebook event? It won't let me post." So I'm not sure what that means because I'm not a Facebooker. But
all right, when I'm done talking, I'll do that in a second.
Okay, I'm glad you know what that means because I don't.
And yeah. And then I got one from the White House. I did a town hall with Obama in 2010, so that's kind of cool. And then this one's Secret Service. This is from the Uniform Division when I did one of the inaugurations. So they're pretty cool. They're kind of like collector items if you do political.
You didn't have to do like push-ups or anything to get those?
No.
Okay.
But they're cool.
Zero.
They're cool.
Kyle?
Okay, so my lovely lady Carla brought me this right as the show started, so I changed up my arm's length game because I'm outside. I mean, I could grab a stick or possibly a plant,
or a fire pit.
I could grab some fire. She brought me this, and this might go off during the show.
Whoa! You got a firework.
Yeah, and it's shaped like a mushroom, bro.
That's crazy.
Shaped like a mushroom.
We're in New York. We're only allowed to like buy those in like a 60-day period preceding the 4th of July. So
we got our ways, bro. We got our ways here in Missouri.
Yeah, and if you are watching us on YouTube, we are of course also keeping an eye on the comments in there. And I do have a YouTube, so I'm chatting with people there. And Alan Heath is also there, spending some time with us as well. So I'll say the coolest thing I have within arm's reach. I feel like this is going to be a really controversial one because we are all sort of operating under our own definition of cool. So I'll say it's cool to me. This is the TI 83 Plus calculator that I had in high school, and I still use it all the time. I love this thing. So that was kind of one of those. Now I do have to say it's really interesting. The fact that we still sell these for like money, like lots of money, like I'm sure it's come down, but this was like $80 when I bought it, 20 years ago. And, I feel like a smartphone can do all these things now. So it's interesting, that whatever money you think you can charge for this now, but I love this thing. I prefer it. I really like it's like kind of the gaming keyboard of calculators. It's got a nice kind of tactile sensation when you're doing your calculations, and it's kind of one of those things like, when you're sitting in math class in high school, you're like, I'm never going to use any of this stuff. Well, guess what, baby?
If you ever hear typing in the background of our show, that's Michael. So anything that has that typing sound, he owns it.
Yes, I have I have one of those mechanical keyboards as well.
Does that take double A's or triple A's?
This takes, I believe it's triple. Let's find out. Yeah, it's triple. It's 4 triple A's. So there we have it. All right. So I mean, I'm almost overwhelmed with how much to do here. Chris, do we want to start off with like
I'm
a
overwhelmed
question?
at this, or let's not
Yeah.
question anything. We got 31 viewers right now. And
Wow. Wow, you made it, boys.
Carlos, Manuel, Christopher, Alex, Brandon, Pazzi, David, my friend Ian, holy cow, James Burke, Samantha Potter, Jimmy,
Yay,
Chris
Potter.
Malmgren, my dude.
I think
Holy
we have
cow,
a yak
this is-
arrival. Chris, do we have a yak arrival?
Apparently, we do stand by buttons.
Fantastic.
Buttons.
What episode number 1?
Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Jim Yakabuski,
yeah.
the very first Signal Noise podcast guest.
Currently residing in the better late than never category.
So,
I heard they gave you Kyle time.
2 things. Yes. First of all, Jim, I was so concerned with making sure that I gave you the correct time that I failed to give you the correct date. So 100% my fault. I am very sorry. But also, I've got to throw a little shade at my co-host here. Jim, since you were the first episode, technically you got seniority over these guys.
Yep.
on
We
the
weren't
show.
even here.
Wow.
We weren't even here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keith Clark.
Yeah.
Keith Clark, ladies and gentlemen, and Michael Lawrence.
So,
Wow.
Jim, I'm so
Well,
glad you were able to join us because
Yeah, me too.
yeah, man, this is it's really been amazing. To
I
kind of-
called Jim and he's like, "You're punking me right now, right?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm definitely not punking you. Like we're live."
and then I said,
Oh,
"Oh shit, let me check my text." Like, crap, I gave Jim the wrong date.
Oh wow. Well,
so-
hey, I'm
Jim, thanks for
24
being here,
hours
man.
early, or 23 hours and 55 minutes early.
It's great. And humble beginnings, but it's been really, really incredible to see the community grow up. I mean, this is not anything that I ever thought when I called Keith and said, "Hey, I think I want to do a podcast." And then we got Kyle on board, and then we got Chris on board, and I have to say, I get emails probably almost every day from somebody somewhere in the world who's listening to the show and has a question about something we talked about, or wants to share some feedback or share a comment. And I really look forward to that. It's really a cool part of my morning. And I know Chris and Kyle, I know you guys feel the same way about it. I mean, it's been so cool to hear from everybody and to get those different approaches. And it's really, it's the stuff that I wanted when I was like 14 and 15 and trying to get into audio. And I wanted to talk about those things and ask those questions. And so to have that is just so cool. And I'm just so thankful for it. So we definitely want to say a big thank you to
Our community, bro.
yeah, man, it's crazy. And of course,
crazy.
I also want to say a big thank you to Jim Yak because he came out and you were the guinea pig, man. We
Jim,
have not figured out.
I can still see in my mind that sitting on the couch in the whatever it was, Fairfield Inn and Suites or something, and we talked it through the first time. It was great.
You were where were you out with Frampton at that point? Who were you out with?
I think so. Yeah.
What
What
is your hot take on that first episode? Were you like, oh man, what am I doing? What am I doing?
No.
But you've known Keith and Michael for a long time, right?
Yeah. Well, for sure. And Michael never asks a bad question. So,
Well, I've told this story on the show. I think probably I may have told the story in episode 1, but I'm going to tell it again because I think episode 1, 7 people listened to episode 1, and 3 of them were Kyle. So when I started to get more serious about audio, I was really paying attention to the trade magazines and looking at online articles, and I got a notebook and I said, I'm going to just write whenever I see someone I think is a cool engineer or someone I want to connect with or someone who's got a cool gig, I'm going to just write it down. And I started putting all this stuff in my notebook. Yeah. And like literally the second name in that notebook was Jim Yakabuski. And I still have that notebook somewhere. And I think I sent Jim a picture of it at some point. So it's just, it's a real treat, man. Jim, we really appreciate you.
Yeah. I'm glad to be invited to anything these days. So thank you guys.
You're going to be invited to shows here pretty soon.
Yeah,
I
Things
know,
starting to
right?
ramp up.
Right? Yeah, beautiful. Let's do some shows, people.
Yeah, I'll let you guys do that. I'm going to hang out with these cats for a while, work at the Home Depot.
Kyle, you've really climbed the ladder over there. You have your forklift certification.
So,
You have your ladder certification.
reach truck, order picker.
Yeah, I mean you're
Valley
valuable over there, dude. You they can't just bring in another Kyle Turnside tomorrow. Like you can pull some weight at this point.
Hey, I'm forklift and aerial certified as well. by
Oh
some
wow,
people, so
that's
it's-
cool.
So one of the things though, it's like I'm almost nervous to do a show right now. And I remember the Chad Olick episode where he's like, I'm going to get crew out production manager style. And if you can't cut it, you're going home. And I'm thinking, oh man, I might be that dude going home. I'm just gonna be like a deer in the headlights for a second.
And I know, we're all feeling it.
Well,
It's like, mixing at church has helped me know that I can still mix.
You know what was funny though, Jim? Like I did a couple shows a couple of weeks ago, and the mixing part came back real quick, but just the physicality of pushing the cases down the ramp and running the feeder, and just my body wasn't used to doing those things, that I felt like I lost a fight the next day. That part of it was a real rough kind of reacclimation.
You know what you need to do is you need to put your house on the market, and you need to have a pile of mulch the size of Mount Everest in your driveway, and do that over a weekend, and you'll be all trained up.
why did he call us outside? He's actually, his house is for sale. He's actually just trying to get buyers right now. That's what
got all this stuff.
So, Jim, I'm actually curious. So, obviously everyone spent a lot of time over this last year, learning new things, practicing. What's like what's one or two things that you have learned over this time that you can't wait to put in practice, or you're ready to
that
put
was
in
gonna be
practice?
my question. You stole my question, man. All right, that's a great question.
That's a
Let's
good
hear
one,
it, Jim.
In the box mixing just changes your whole idea. Oh, hi. How are
Hey,
you?
Kemper.
That's Kemper, and she's not made in a computer and put into a box to sound like something else.
It's I spend all this time in my little studio office here just mixing stuff in my little Neumann near fields and headphones, and I just kind of rethought a lot of things. And Michael, you and I beat this dead horse to the whole thing about getting a great mix in the console and then just translating that to the PA. And I think that's probably what I learned the most over this past year, was just get a great console mix, and sounding great in your headphones, near fields, and then deal with the PA down the line.
So, Jim, as an extension of that, because one of the things that we talked about, and anyone who's kind of like, what are you guys talking about? Jim and I, if you go on Pro Sound Web, we have a couple articles together where we talked about the various aspects of this idea. One of the things that I always bring up is, if you do that, your board mixes that go to streams and go to recordings and go to the artist sometimes sound more tonally similar to how the show actually sounded in the space. And to me, that's important. Jim, do you have artists that want board mixes and listen to those critically? And if so, is this going to kind of improve that part of the workflow with you and the artist?
Not as much as I think back in the old days, but I was working with a band where one of the key principal players wanted to put a little what do you call those little recording devices?
A little GoPro?
GoPro. Well, no, the
Like the Marantz, or like M audio, like the
just like
the Zoom thing. The Zoom recorder.
Zoom. That's it.
You did this, and I saw the XY mic. That's
there
it.
There you go. So he's like, well, whatever goes into this is exactly what the audience is hearing. And I said, I'm gonna call you on that a little bit, because ears are always going to sound different. But that was what this artist wanted to hear as a representation of the show mix, was what is this stereo XY pattern recorder here, and that should be what the show sounds like. And I would listen back and say, no, it's not the same. But I don't get asked as much anymore. But I think when you to our point, when you do have a full sounding, full spectrum console mix, it's a lot nicer to hand to someone and say, this is kind of what the show sounds like.
Yeah. And I mean, I think tonally is what we're talking about. Like, obviously, a mic is not going to have the directional characteristics of the human hearing, and we hear the room differently when it's on tape. I mean, we all know that, but at least the spectral distribution of kind of how how the balance of the mix, I think, is much closer to how the show is in the room, and that to me is a big deal.
Yeah, because if your PA has just plus 12, plus 16, plus 18 of everything below 200 hertz, your board mix is not going to have that, because you're mixing into the system and you're taking away the stuff that's already there. So we've talked about what's the compromise, and I think, Michael, you were the one to say, like, plus 6 on the low end, a little hump there to make it feel like a live show, but still your console gets to produce some of those frequencies by lowering high pass filters. And maybe on Frampton, I was adding a little boost in the left right at 70 hertz, just a kind of a big wide round plus 3 dB boost in the lows on the left right, and it made it all kind of come together.
Yeah, and I think there's always going to be this stuff that we tweak here and there, a couple dB, even day to day. But the fact that we're talking about a couple dB and not 18, I think is the point, right? Like, you know what I mean? We're in the ballpark,
right?
So I'm curious. I've been trying to figure out how to make this question as short as possible in this context, but I'm going to process it out loud here. So and we have a lot of people in our group who talk about how it's easy to hear and talk about the A-list artists, and you're in an arena this, and you're in a stadium this, that, right? Take it down to the local level now, where, and I'm very curious, and we talk about, hey, you make your mix right at the console with your headphones, this, that, and the other, and it should be good no matter, get the system right. Well, let's face it, I would say a majority of our industry is working in a space, venue, whatever, that's not the case, where you can make the best CD quality mix you want all day long in your console, but if, when your guitar amps are only 20 feet in front of you, or your stage is only, 10 feet wide, whatever, the circumstances are. So I'm curious on the fine line of, and it goes back to, I've mentioned kind of before, like damage control mixing versus like actually getting to mix. And Kyle, maybe you could speak to this a little bit more. Like, where's that fine line of where you can just, hey, this is my mix, I'm not going to get it translated, versus like, I have to mix to the room right now, and what's coming off the stage, and that is what it is. And then my 2-track is never going to, like, I think people's biggest complaint in the past is like, hey, they always had this asterisk of like, hey, this is a board mix, because they're like, hey, there's so much shit coming off the stage or whatever, like, you have to take that into context. Where's that fine line? Does that make sense?
It's a great question. Great question.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I like to think of myself mixing any live show. I'm in the moment. I'm a live sound mixer. I am mixing for the people around me in the room watching the show. If I get, a blasted over the board mix later, so be it. I'll use all the lines. Well, it didn't sound like that in the room. And it is true. It is true. What it sounded like in the room is what you guys paid me to do. And that's what I always stick by. I mean, board mixes can have zero guitar except what came through the vocal mics, because there was so much coming off stage, just like you said, 20 feet in front of you, Chris. I mean, it's like, it's right there. I'm sure I have, several board mixes in my life that have no cymbals in them, because the cymbals coming off the stage were as loud as you can ever imagine. So,
agreed.
Yeah. Live first, for the people first,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, no, there was only a few certain instances that I brought my desk to, like a underplay tour, where we were doing small stuff before the album release, or secret shows that were always a blast. Like we did one with Every Time I Die. We did a bunch of really cool underplays, and I had my console with me, so I did have that board mix going. But the adjustments that I had to make in the room for those underplays was different. Now, if you're walking in and mixing on the house console, it is what it is. That board mix is going to be, it is what it is time. Yeah. But like Jim said, getting it as close to that, you heard my theory before. Like, I try to put everything I can in there to use every frequency bandwidth I possibly can, because it is about the live experience. Sure. And I like to move air, especially in those small venues where people paid good money to go see like a band of that caliber in that venue. That's the closest they're ever going to be to them. You know what I mean? So, there was a few instances where I'd listen to the board mix and I was like, not tonight, guys.
Yeah. Let's hope no one asks for this one.
But the energy of those shows sometimes did translate to that board mix where you would get like distortion, or you would get something that you would normally not get in an arena or amphitheater setting, that you listen back to that board mix and you go, oh shit.
Yeah.
I did that. Whoa. And sometimes even crappy YouTube crowd videos.
Yep.
You know, like I'd go, the band Fall Out Boy was like that all the time when they first started. They always go self-evaluate themselves by YouTube videos because that's what they had in my board mix, you know. So it was kind of, when those things came out, like eye-opening, like holy cow, that translated really well. And the band would look at it from a different perspective than they would the normal, here's our board mix for the night. And
I think, first of all, I think any artist who's been around this type of work at all understands the reality that the board mix doesn't sound like what it sounded in the room. I think a lot of them know that. But also, if I'm building a show for an act that I know is going to be in those small rooms, I have a couple little things that I'll do differently in the file to prepare myself for that. Like the big cheat for me,
cover your ass. That's what you're talking about, Michael.
Yeah,
you just covering your ass.
I'm talking about. So I'll do my drum reverbs, run them all pre-fader, which is against the law, but I do it. So when I get into the room and my drum inputs come down, I still have the drum reverb in the PA, so I still get the kind of the spatial aspect of the drum sound that I want. But I don't need the kick and the snare and all the stuff that's already too much in the room. So, you know, laying those things out in a way that I kind of have more control over. Yeah, it's okay if I have to pull these faders down 30 dB because I still have them, you know, affecting the other things that I want to affect. You know, that stuff, just a little bit of forethought. And it's not a silver bullet. You know, this is tough. And it's something we've talked about with Willa on the show all the time. Like, in a way, those are the hardest gigs, these little tiny clubs. And when you get to bigger venues, it gets easier in a lot of ways. But so it's hard. But, you know, there are a couple things that you can do to kind of stack your deck a little bit in your favor. And that's one of them, is being careful about, you know, my effects. What, Kyle?
my heart is still in the stupid strip mall club that kids just pile into, and it's a sweaty mess. Like there's something about those shows that make me go to arena shows too. You know what I mean? It's like the love of music. You can't even explain it technically. At some point, you're just like,
well, no, I can. You like when stuff's getting knocked over. That's when Kyle's having a great night right there.
No, I even saw Green Day did an underplay in Phoenix when I lived there at a venue called the Brick House that I was working at. What was it called? Something Bathtub. I forgot what the name of the band was, but it was Green Day. And I got to hang out with those dudes, and he brought his XL3 in. Was it XL3? No, XL200 at front of house. And man, dude, he made that venue sing. And those kids, not kids at the time, obviously Green Day fans are a little bit older now, but like me, but the difference of the crowd and people singing along, holy cow, it was just night and day from an arena or an amphitheater. Like,
yeah,
insane. And the band reacted differently too. I think they listen to those things because they want to hear their banter, they want to hear the crowd interaction, they want to hear almost like, oh, I don't even care if I miss notes. Like, I said some really cool stuff after this song.
Well, that's the other point I was going to make, Kyle, is that, you know, the artists that I work with the most, when I give them a board mix, like we've had the conversation 1,000 times about this isn't how your show sounded in the room. They're not listening for that necessarily to critique my mix. They're listening to, hey, that little part with the guitars going back and forth that we worked on, did that work, or do we need to go back and revisit that? And was I singing into? They're looking at their performance a lot, and that is a useful tool for them, even though, you know, the spectral balance of the recording is not what the discussion's about for them. Chris, I think we should get one of the giveaways going here.
Yeah. All right. So let's give we give away a shirt.
Let's do a shirt. Let's do a shirt.
Cool. Kyle, ask a question that people need to answer for us to get a shirt.
Oh man.
Put you on the spot here, guys. Sorry.
Wow.
What episode did I start?
Oh, good
Wow.
episode.
Good, love it.
Yeah,
Good.
So if you guys can answer what episode was my first episode,
Well, throw it out there. Actually, we'll do two short giveaway. One, what episode I started, and what episode Kyle started.
Wow.
perfect.
Whoever the first person to answer those two
Perfect.
numbers, we'll get a sickle to the shirt that Kyle's wearing. Actually,
It says
Nice.
powered by
There you go.
tacos on the back, which I'm getting whiff of my carne picada that's in the crock pot right now.
So while we're waiting for that, let's talk about the mentorship program real quick. This has been kind of the biggest, coolest thing about this whole thing for me. Anyone who knows me knows I am constantly trying to call people up and ask questions and learn shit from them. And we've been able to formalize that basically through the Signal to Noise podcast that Kyle started it up. And we have like 180 people signed up for our mentorship program now.
Nice.
There's I believe there's a form on our Facebook group that you can sign up in on our Discord. And Chris, I think Hannah's in the waiting room here.
she is. One
So-
second.
Sort of, she was like the first like unofficial kind of mentee to go through this thing, and then after that, it kind of got formalized, and she's pretty much
Hold on,
graduated.
we got one winner. So someone got my show number right. Ruben
Okay.
Ruben Baker got. I was on 16 was my first episode.
Ruben, send us an email with
Nice.
your
And
shipping information.
Jade Payne just
Hey,
beat
Jade.
out Alex Ryder by a hair. Started on episode 7.
All right,
Nice.
so send us messages or email us, and we'll
Yep.
sort this out. And let me bring Hannah in here.
All right, and
So-
so go ahead, Kyle.
Hey,
No, I was
Hannah.
going to talk about the mentorship program too. I mean, we started this thing over COVID, and it gave a lot of people validity, even myself, and that, man, the interaction that I've had with my it's just like friendships now. I just have a
Yeah.
bunch of new friends. Cool, I'm down for that.
Yeah, it's and I said before, I really look forward to it. I have time on the calendar every week. I meet with Wes on Tuesday at 11, and I'm going to meet with Jaira, Saturday morning, and I love just getting random texts like, "Hey, I'm out doing this thing right now, and I'm stuck on this, and how should I do that?" Because I do that to people all the time. So it's important that people can do that to me. Hannah, I'm going to put you on the spot. You were kind of like my first unofficial. Hannah just walked up to me at an AES show and was like,
She just graduated,
yeah,
by the way.
She did.
I graduate on
Congratulations.
Saturday. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Ladies and
Um,
gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm really excited. But yeah,
Um,
I just walked up to Michael at a show and gave him my card, and here we are, like a year and a half later.
Yeah. And you pretty much graduated from the mentorship thing as
I
well.
made that
mean,
joke.
Yeah. So what's been
You
your
can take over some
experience?
of my people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people are still scared to reach out or scared to say, "Hey, I'm struggling with this. I want to hear about your experiences and what you've learned, kind of looking back on it, and kind of where you were in your career when we started working on this stuff, and kind of where you are now, and just
Well,
spill your guts."
I was scared. I still am scared. I mean, don't
Okay,
worry.
you gave me your card, and I called you like that night. I
Oh my
think,
God,
and you
no, it was-
freaked out.
no.
She had a meltdown.
He emailed me that night, and then 2 days later, I just got back and was trying to do my homework, and my phone rang from this New York number, and I had no idea what was happening. It was just Michael, and I was like, okay,
Like,
I
what,
don't
you
know what's
told me to
happening.
call?
Okay, hi. But no, it's been honestly life-changing to have Michael in my life and have everybody that he's introduced me to. I mean, everybody that's here right now, I mean, I've met through Michael, and it's been wonderful to make all these friends. And the amount of knowledge I've gained in this time, I mean, when I started, I was just trying to figure out kind of what my niche was, what I really wanted to focus in. And I had just started my teacher, Eric, he teaches a speaker systems class, and I had just gotten started in that. We were about halfway through the semester. And then I met Michael, and it was just this perfect storm of, I'm going to be a system tech. And here I am. And that's what I want to
This
do.
may have been undue influence on my part, but
Here-
I
here-
used to enjoy it. So.
Here's the thing. I'm not even worried about sending you out in the world right now because I know you're going to kill it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really
I know
appreciate
you're gonna.
that.
I know you're gonna kill it because, like us old guys, we're done. We're done. It's folks like you that are gonna change the industry from here on out. And that's amazing. Congrats.
That means a lot coming
Yes,
from you.
that's
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
Yeah.
Chris, another giveaway. We actually only have like 20 minutes left. We have a lot of
All
stuff
right,
to give away.
Oh, shit.
yeah. So let's get into a couple of the main giveaways here.
And I do want to
Uh-oh.
answer. a couple of questions, like with the breakdown of, we have more mentees than mentors, which is okay because a lot of mentors want to take on a couple of different mentees. I'm actually very surprised at the number of people that are interested in the program. So we are making our way through that list and sending out those emails to match people up. So if you signed up and you haven't heard yet, just be patient. You will hear. We're working through it. And anyone who's interested in joining that hasn't, you can either come by our Discord, come by our Facebook group, send an email on our website, signalnoisepodcast.com.
Yeah, the link to get to that isn't directly on our site. Maybe we'll fix that. We'll sort that out. But definitely either our Facebook group or our Discord group. But if you don't know that, message us, email us, you get to us. We'll get you there. All
right. So Ike Zimbel's in the chat right now. Ike was a guest on the show. If anyone can, first person to name one of the artists that Ike has toured with, let's give him a shirt. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't actually know the answer to this. I didn't. I don't know if I know the answer to this. So
I have one answer, but I'm gonna be quiet because I'm here with you guys.
You signed that thing that says we can't win. We can't win.
Let's give away one of the.
I haven't even got an Alan.
You want to give away one of the main giveaways?
Yeah. We have a lot to get. We like 5 main giveaways.
Yeah.
Don't we?
So
and actually, here while you're preparing that, I'll prep another thing. So you prep that real quick.
Okay.
So we have 2 giveaways that were not pre-sign up. So these are things you need to comment for. So Jay Clark from Kinetic Audio Technologies is giving away a GPI controller, custom-made GPI controller for a Yamaha QL or CL console.
Wow.
Please tell us in the comments as to why you want that. I'll make sure someone who's going to use it gets it. So tell us why you want it, how you're going to use it in the comments. We'll pick someone at the end of the broadcast. Secondly, he's created these fader lids, and he has these Star Wars fader lids for Yamaha QL CL. Tell us why you want those in the comments. We'll pick someone after the broadcast.
I think we ask, what is your favorite Star Wars episode? And if it's my favorite Star Wars episode, they win Darth Vader.
All right. So Hannah, so all of the prizes for the main giveaway, meaning the ones that you signed up for on our website, the ones that are on the forum, all that stuff, those were selected out of all of the entries. By the way, there were over 1,600 people entered for the giveaway, which is fantastic. And those were selected with a random number generator out of that list. Hannah, who wins the Dead Mouse t-shirt? Dead Mouse was our most listened to episode, and he sent us a Dead Mouse t-shirt to give away.
It is Alex Ryder.
Yay.
All right. So, Alex, you're going to be getting an email to the email address that you use on the forum in about 15 minutes, and just respond to that email with your shipping information, and one Dead Mouse t-shirt coming your way. Okay. Ike says he doesn't even know who he mixed.
He's gonna need to have that answer before we can verify anything. So.
He's going to his LinkedIn real quick.
Yeah, he's looking at his CV right now
frantically.
And then let's see.
We got the all right. We got another one here.
I want to know, everybody on this panel, what was your favorite episode so far? Which one were you like? Yeah, I like that one.
That's a brutal question, man.
That is a kind of brutal question.
Episode 1 for me.
Solidified it.
NHL All-Star Games has been Jones. I think I did work on that. I think we'll allow that.
He did. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It wasn't a tour, but hey, that doesn't matter.
No. RF for days.
Yeah.
I mean, to me,
I did say artist, though. I did say artist.
Hey, hockey players are artists too, bro.
Okay.
Sebastian Aho, he's an artist.
Yes.
Next prize, while we're sorting through that, I think maybe that's a split. I think we do the All-Star Game and the Sarah McLachlan. I think that's fair. So there's 2 T-shirts for you for those commenters. Okay, Hannah, another one coming your way.
Another one coming my way.
Another one coming your way. This is why you're here. You should announce things. See, this is
my job.
This is because Michael didn't prepare enough with Jim, but no, I'm just kidding.
No, it's this is the mentorship in action, right? We're working on being comfortable in public.
Show up at the right time.
So the next prize is our resident musician here at the Signal Noise Podcast. And by the way, I don't think we've mentioned this yet. At the end of tonight's episode, Mike Green, who performs our theme song Break Free, is going to be doing an exclusive acoustic performance. We're going to be hitting play on that immediately after the episode, so stay tuned for that.
Are we gonna hang out afterwards too? Maybe.
There is an after party
I'm working
as
on
well
that. Yep, I'm working on
that
that.
Chris is sorting out.
Hmm.
So Mike Green has donated a T-shirt and a signed copy of his album Restart, which is, I think, a fantastic album. I listen to it all the time. Hannah, who wins that stuff?
For this, we have Tyler Keenan.
Yay, Tyler!
Yeah, Tyler.
You know these people, Kyle.
I want to get to know him, bro. I want to get to know
That's
everybody.
Cool. We're doing a Zoom after party here. Chris just put the link up, so there we go.
Cool.
Okay. So,
Disclaimer, Tyler, I have that T-shirt and that album. Amazing. Wear it all the time.
Yeah,
Highly
Hannah's a big
recommend.
Mike Green fan.
I am.
All right.
I like Mike Green.
So the next one is Ethan Weiner, who's yeah, I know, Chris, I know.
Ooh, you got the finger, bro.
I did. So I got like the mom finger. Ethan has been a fantastic mentor of mine for a long time, and I've just learned so much from him. And he has a book called The Audio Expert, which is a fantastic book, and it explains so much under the hood stuff about audio. I definitely recommend it to anyone who is interested in audio at any level. And so he has donated a signed copy of his book. Before we announce the winner for that, Ethan has sent us a special message of congratulations. Hit it, Chris.
Oh, hi. I'm Ethan Weiner, author of The Audio Expert and guest of Signal to Noise, Episode 2. Congratulations to Michael, Kyle, Chris, and the whole ProSound Web team on 100 episodes. An extra congrats to the winner of a signed copy of my Audio Expert book. I hope you enjoy it. And remember, beware of audio bullshit. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ethan.
Very well said.
Hannah,
that was great.
who wins Ethan Weiner's Audio Expert?
Jacob Coons got this one. I also have this book.
Nice.
There we go.
Good
Jacob, again, so anyone, you're going to get an email in a couple minutes and just give us your information and off it goes. We're getting down to the wire here. We got about, what Chris, we got maybe 15 minutes left?
Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, time doesn't exist. It's
Hold on. Time doesn't exist.
I want to ask Jim a question. I want to ask, I always like to pick Jim's brain whenever I have access to Jim. Jim, when you look back on your kind of growth as a mixer, is there like a pivotal piece of advice or a pivotal thing that you figured out that you remembered like, wow, that really allowed me to up my game?
Good question. Damn,
Good
Michael.
question. Yeah, that's deep.
Michael always has good questions. Always.
I thought I had the deep questions, Michael. I thought
Show off.
Well, I remember writing an article for LSI once about the 5 things I wish I knew when I started. And one of them was to time align your subs to your mains. And that brought such a huge change in just the way things sounded. And I think in the very same episode, or maybe the next episode, there was a piece in there by Michael about, well, it doesn't matter if you're so I was like, man, shouldn't the editor like say, hey, dude, let's not go there this episode, But no, that was I mean, I can think back to the 95 Van Halen tour with a big EAW 850 rig and a bunch of subs, and we would fly it at whatever height it went to that day, the mains, and the subs were wherever they were, here, there on the floor. And I would turn it on and go, wow, the kick sounds good today. Or, man, it sounds all like it's falling apart.
So much sound pressure. We should have had you on when we were talking about 850s the other episodes. Yeah. Holy cow. So much sound pressure.
That episode's not out yet.
Oh,
spoilers. Time is an illusion. So, Jim, I feel like I will defend myself. I think the temptation is when people come in and take a smart class, they're like, I have my mains, I have my subs, I need to put in a delay time. What's the answer?
Right.
And as we know, if your subs are on the ground and your mains are not on the ground, there's not one answer. There's an answer for a point in space. And I know that you've talked a lot about, you want to make sure you're not in a weird hole somewhere. All right, Hannah.
Cheers, mate.
Hannah's getting ready for the after party.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Wow.
There's a huge amount of value in making sure that you, the mixer, who's making critical listening decisions, isn't sitting in some weird interaction or weird spot.
Yeah.
Just the idea that there's a perfect answer that works for all the seats in the house. I think that's my caution is you can't be thinking about that. So that not to say that there isn't, an improvement to be made at some location. I think we just need to think about where, the best compromise and why we want to favor a certain location. That's kind of my angle on it. And I believe
angle.
you would agree.
No, absolutely. And we could go on for hours and hours about, where's the proper place to line things up. And
we did a whole webinar about it together pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, the front of house in an arena is generally kind of central. It's not a bad place to, plus you have managers and guests and family members and stuff coming to hang at the safety of front of house. So you might as well make it sound
people good. And video people.
None of them are listening.
Wait, do I count as a video person since I'm up in the webcast?
Yeah, you do.
know.
You do. That's it. You're forever marked now.
Yeah. 360, doing it all. So I mean, I think of all the things I've learned, I think that was a game changer for sure, was to go, oh, I just gotta, add some delay time to the mains or the subs 2-3 milliseconds, and everything feels way better where I'm mixing. So
when you started paying attention to that, were you using a computer or a sim machine or something to do that, or were you still doing it by ear and then you later got into doing it with an analyzer? How did at what point did that happen?
Yeah,
I remember you talked about your first exposure to the sim and how that kind of changed the way you thought about stuff.
Yeah, for sure. That was around 96, 97, doing Julio Iglesias and Dave Lawler, the genius. Dr. Dave, my audio mentor, was he came out as a system tech with his big old Meyer PA, and it was just like, imagine every model of Meyer box is in the air, and I was highly intimidated. I had an MSL3 PA and some subs before Dave came out, and then there was 10s and 4s and 2s and all the numbers, all the Meyer numbers, and Dave just kind of, I watched him sim every day, and I had no idea what he was doing. And I just know that in the worst sounding venues, the PA always came together by the time he was done. And that was the first time I understood the value of measurement and said, okay, I got to get smart and I got to figure out how to do this on my own. So Dave was the guy who introduced me to that. Before that, honestly, I was just winging it, really winging it. So,
John Huntington, also a guest on the show, has offered a copy of his book, Intro to Show Networking, which is a fantastic book. I got it on my shelf here.
That
Anna,
one I don't have.
You don't have that one?
No.
I have it.
But this is going to Alyssa Freire.
Yeah.
Yay, Alyssa.
Yay.
Fantastic. All right. And I think do we want to pull the trigger on the big prizes yet? But we're getting real close. Chris, you got a bunch of other stuff still, don't you?
I do.
Okay, you do it, man.
No, so if anyone hasn't commented on why they would want the Star Wars Vader caps or the GPIO from the Yamaha CLQL consoles, comment. We'll pick around to that at the end. I don't know how many T-shirts we've given away at this point.
Don't you have? Isn't there like in-ears or something too?
I think 4.
No, that's a different. Sorry, that's a
Oh,
different thing.
okay. I can't keep up. We got 2 more T-shirts, I think.
2 more?
I think we got 2 more T-shirts.
Sure. I don't know. Jim, what? Give us a question as to why who we should give another T-shirt to.
Wow.
How about this? Because we got 2 shirts, one for Jim, one for me. While you're thinking of something, Jim, I want to know, in all seriousness, something somebody learned from the show. What was something you learned from somebody on the show, a guest on the show, that you were like, oh, that's cool, I'm going to try that? Because my list is endless, obviously, but I'd like to hear from the community something you learned that was cool.
So in that same vein, how about, are any mentees listening tonight? And if they are, what is one thing you've learned from your mentor that has made a big leap forward?
I reserve the right
Hannah,
for
you're not
mine.
allowed to. You're not
Yeah,
allowed to.
I don't need to. There are too many things. I could answer the question time and time and time and time again.
I reserve the right for my mentees to shush. Everything I tell them is secret, personal.
Yeah. I actually got my mentee a gig this week, so
Nice.
That's cool, Chris.
Keep
And-
it down, bro.
Not just got him a
Now they're
gig.
all gonna want one.
You put him on your gig. Like he
I
took
tr-
his mentee to the
Awesome.
show and they did a gig together. And I think that's the coolest thing ever, man. I'm so stoked about that.
Well, I'm gonna invite them all to my
Big
house,
happening.
Michael.
Mike already did that.
Yeah, I already invited him.
For the
Yeah. record,
no guarantees of gigs if you sign up for the mentorship program. Disclaimer.
That's right.
Oh, I like that one. Quoting if you're you can only coast downhill. If you're coasting, you're going downhill. Grace Royce.
Grace Royce.
Nice.
Great. That was
Yes.
that's great. I love that. I
I
think
that's my
that's the-
favorite because I
that's-
think I've used it like 10 times a day here
I
at
think-
home too.
that's the t-shirt winner. I think that's an awesome quote. And we've talked about that quote a lot on the show.
That's our buddy Dave, by the way, from Tektronics. So
Oh, hey Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Dave, send us your mailing address. That's cool. All right, so we're getting down to the wire here. We have two very big prizes left. We have mentee in the house. That's cool. That's cool.
And for the record, if you're not in our, so a lot of people are watching from our Facebook group. If you're not in our Facebook group, please just search Signal to Noise Podcast in Facebook. You'll find our Facebook group. Please join that. I'll drop a link to our Discord here in the comments as well for if you want to hang out with us over in
and you
Discord.
can send us an email. I love getting emails. It's so I really do.
Hold on. Speaking of which, real quick, actually, speaking of emails, we had someone email us and literally fight a whole case about how burritos are better than tacos.
We did.
Yep.
We did. It was serious.
I read that email 3 times, and I don't read the emails. I was like, hold on, he could be right, actually.
Man.
Just to illustrate how big of an achievement that is to make Kyle read your email 3 times, he sent us a screenshot of his phone the other day. He literally has 3,200 unread emails.
For the record, Kyle does not read our emails, but he read an email that came to us about burritos versus tacos. So
If I'm not getting paid to read emails, I'm pretty not paying attention to them.
Fair enough.
Oh boy! All right, here's what we're gonna do. Let's get to the big prizes. These are the ones that I'm jealous of. These are cool. Chris, can you put that graphic up, man? Let's look at that Audix mic bundle for a second here.
It's gonna look weird because I didn't plan for all 5 of us to be on here.
It's
when
all
I
right, man.
made this, but
It's
give me a
okay.
second.
It actually looks
You
like
can
a
kick me
big
out.
No. So you got the pair of pencil condensers. You got the D6 is my all-time favorite kick mic. You got I believe it's an i5 in there. I can't read it; it's too small. There is the A133 large diaphragm condenser microphone, which is really cool, and these A150 headphones that we love them. We use them. I mix with these things. These are great. These are, I will say, the most comfortable headphones I've ever owned.
Yes.
I dig them. So you're gonna run that fantastic mic bundle from Audix. Jim Yak, I am texting you the name of the winner,
Okay.
and you can announce it.
You get to be a part of this.
Yay, not me this time.
Let's see
And of
if
course,
I
we do want to say a huge thank you to Audix for not only donating this awesome prize, but
Oh,
supporting us on the show.
They've been
and
with us
making
for a
this
long
possible.
time.
They have. They've been with us for quite a while now, and we really appreciate that. So
That's
thanks.
awesome.
That
I
episode
think we have a
with-
winner here.
We got a winner. Who wins the Audix mic bundle, Jim Yak?
Josh Paquette. Josh
Josh.
Paquette.
Josh Paquette. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice.
And by the way, that episode with the Audix dudes for the TM1 and everything was super fun. Like we try to stay away from the manufacturer thing because it's not about that at the end of the day with us. But they were really cool to have on. That was super informational. I loved having Steve Young's one of my favorite dudes ever. Period.
Steve calls me once a week still just to kind of chat, which is really cool. And I have to say, after all that, my in-ears monitors broke the other day, and I was like, wait, I can figure out what's going on here because I know how to use
You
this
can
thing.
verify that what you're
Verify
hearing.
that it was in fact broken. It was not my ears playing tricks on me. It definitely broken. So again, we got the Zoom after party coming up. That Chris has put the link to a couple places there. We got a Discord server. Kyle's dog's on the air.
This is my stepdaughter's dog. This is Honey.
Oh, hi, honey. we have, of course, coming
Love
up in
the
just a
band.
couple of minutes, exclusive acoustic performance by Mike Green. Really excited for that. It's always such a pleasure to hear Mike play. And we have one more big prize before we get to all that. Same thing, Jim, I'm going to send you the name of the winner, if I can spell it properly. This is an elaborate ruse for me to have to not pronounce anybody's name incorrectly on the air.
I noticed.
Just making other people do it. All right.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
here we go.
Oh, never
Okay.
mind. I don't
This
have pants
is
on.
the prize. This prize is the SQ5 mixing console
Wow.
from Alan and
Holy
Heath.
cow.
I own one. I love this thing.
Wow.
I absolutely love it. So one lucky winner, Jim.
All right.
Who wins
Okay.
the SQ5?
Carolyn, this is coming from a gentleman named Jim Yakabuski. So if I get this wrong, please don't be upset. Carolyn Slouther.
So cool. Holy cow.
Yay,
Hey,
congratulations.
Thanks to Jeff and all the
Yes.
people over at Allen and Heath, Samantha Potter,
Samantha,
everybody.
Jeff.
Like, holy cow, man.
Banks.
You guys
Mike Banks was on the show.
Mike Bangs, you guys overdid yourself. This is huge. Huge.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Big thank you to Alan Heath and Audix and all of our partners supporting us.
I would like everyone at Allen and Heath to know that my D-Live C1500 was in my real estate photos today for I
That's
set it up,
awesome.
made it look pretty for my real estate photos.
Right behind
I
the
gotta
mulch
send us
fired
pile.
up the Avantis too, and I hope anyone who knows me knows I'm like super anal about like not putting extra hours on gear that doesn't when it doesn't need to be running. I don't want it running, but putting an hour on the Avantis just so it can look nice in the background there for you. So Chris talked me
Nice.
into it.
Nice.
It's a fantastic test. So thank you again to Alan Heath. Thank you to Audix. Thank you to all the people who donated stuff. Thank you to
The clinic.
the Roadie Clinic, of course.
Paul,
Courtney
Courtney.
Clemson. And I want to say thank you to Chris and Kyle, man. It's been such an awesome thing doing this with you guys, and I couldn't do it without you. And it's better with Kyle. Kyle at one time was like, "I'm done. I just got too much going on." And I was like, "I will drive to your house and beat you if you leave this show." So this is a really fantastic thing, and we're honored and we're humbled that it has been able to help so many people and all that stuff. So we want to say a big thank you to everyone for tuning in. And Jim,
But don't,
Thanks,
but
man.
don't go anywhere.
don't go anywhere.
We have a Mike Green performance, so please stick around for that. And I've dropped links twice already for the Zoom after party. If you want to hang with us, for a little bit, a few minutes is cool. So yeah.
And let's say thank you to Keith Clark and Julie and the whole team of Pros on Web for all that they do to put up with us and
Holy
keep
cow.
this show going and
Yeah, man.
making all the websites.
So I
fun.
do expect to be on the 1000th.
I'm gonna be
Well,
dead, Jim. I'm gonna be dead. He did. Kyle did.
If
You're
we
gonna be
make
the new
it to 1,000, I want to be on Kyle's porch, his back deck, to do that episode because that
I'm gonna have a
looks
pile
really
of mulch
sweet.
back there. That'll be me.
I'm gonna try to do the math while Mike Green's playing on when the 1,000th episode would be.
Okay.
Well, I'll figure that out.
Okay. I think I'll
And
make it.
if you're going to the Church Facilities Expo this year in September, CFX, we're going to be down there. We're going to be hosting the loudspeaker demo. They don't let me talk. I'm running the console. Chris and Kyle are going to be MCing. It's going to be, so come hang out with us. Probably do a live episode. We'll down there. It's going to be a great time.
Hell yeah.
I'm bringing a stack of resumes. We might get picketed.
I probably shouldn't say hell yeah at the church expo. Anyway, all right, let's get on with.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Any parting words, Chris, Kyle, anything? You wanna
No,
throw
come
in
on,
there?
hang out with it. But again, the groups are really important. I know we kind of joke about them, Facebook group, Discord group. I mean, a lot of great discussion goes down there. I mean, the wealth of people that you have access to, like Jim, like Ryan or John, like just so many people who I'm going to say this, I don't care. We have the best audio community both on Facebook and Discord. Come join us. I have no problem touting it. Not because of the three of us or the 4 or 5 of us, whatever on this. Well, yes, Jim, but because of all the other people in the industry. Like it's great. It's not the junk you see everywhere else. So it's cool.
And if these lovely countenances weren't enough for you, John Huntington just joined our Discord. So if you want to know about like time code and automation and shit, go ask John. He's the wizard. So
And I'll say that today I didn't receive a single email of somebody asking a question of how they can do audio better. So like utilize these people that are around you.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
everyone here is really smart, and
Dude,
Michael,
Chad Olick,
Yeah.
Andrew Stokely, like
Yeah, just
yourself,
monsters.
Jim, like people. Holy cow, man! If I had that bank of people that I could talk to when I was that age, insane. I would be on the phone all day long at the payphone.
yeah,
Insane.
and
Mark your calendars.
and people, like, we love to help out. We love to, I mean, Michael gets at least 4 calls a week from me asking him about something. So,
And you listen to my crappy board mixes, so it's a trade-off, Jim. It's a trade.
I like that Michael gets to debunk stuff too. Like the first message that we got before the episode started was the time clock thing. Putting
let's
a clock.
let's not start a battle.
No, I'm not starting a battle, but the time clock thing and better sound. So maybe we'll get into that in future episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know we have a bunch of really cool episodes that are coming up in the future. Like we traveled there with Michael J. Fox in this crazy car. It was crazy. I love you guys. Like you guys made me feel like I'm worth it. And over COVID, I think that's the best thing that a dude could ask for, or a chick, or anybody who watches our thing. Like,
and we, the three of us, we group text where we talk all the time, and it's like, for those who don't know, we release episodes on Wednesdays, right? But we also record every Wednesday night, and it's so it's funny when COVID first started, we're like, man, everyone's gonna be home, we have to like record with as many people as possible, right? And after about 3 weeks of doing 2 episodes a week, we're like, fuck,
that's when I quit.
Right? And then we're like, so it was like, all right, let's just do Wednesday nights, and for like the last year we've been doing Wednesday nights. It's like the most consistent thing that the 3 of us have had over the last year, and it's therapy, it's everything. So we appreciate all of you. I appreciate you all. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome that you guys do this, because I know when there's a webinar thing on my horizon, except for tonight and that one thing with Samantha Potter, I'm usually really reliable. But
that was my fault this time, Jim.
But no, I mean, to carve out that time and to do this every week, that's awesome that you guys do this, and so many people comment to me all the time how much they enjoy it, and they don't miss an episode, and that's awesome.
It is awesome. Thank you, Jim.
And so thank you, Sam Zuckerman. We'll see you all for episode 1000 in August 4th on 2038. Thanks.
I'm already booked.
I'll be there.
Thanks, everybody, so much for tuning in. We will see you next week, of course, on everywhere you get your podcasts. Stay tuned for an exclusive acoustic performance by Mike Green, and stay safe.
Love you guys. Love all you guys.
Love everybody. Audio speeding and B-roll speeding. All right.
Hey everybody, my name's Mike. For those who don't know me, thank you to Signal to Noise for hosting this and allowing me a chance to perform. It's been quite some time. I'm gonna get going here, and hope you all relax and have a good time. This one is called Waves.
Waxes in your waves and crashes to the ground when no one's around. Love ends so easily, it always finds a way. I fall so heavily, 'cause love never stays. We used to laugh, sitting on the sand, on the swimming nights ended and the days began. You had my heart in the palm of your hand, but gripped, you tripped, I tripped, we could barely stand. Love drifts in and out like waves, so friendly, slowly stay. Drowning in a world without you, I must trust the current and those who will get it too. Your love was a red wine to my lips, deeply the stain you left every time I took a sip. Love is seeping out like waves, taxis and waves, crashes to the ground, no one's around. Love bends so easily, always finds a way. I fall so heavily, slowly crashes to the ground, no one's around. Love bends so easily, it always finds a way. I fall so firmly, slowly stays, love never 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 stays.
Thanks again for listening and sticking with me here. This next one is called Always. Remembering old days, out with close friends, reckless as we could get, jumped off the highest cliff, beach and campfires, Nintendo and VHS, laughs in the backseats, it's easy to reminisce. No matter our age, I still feel the same. You and I. I'll be friends always. When we're apart, only seasons change. A crush from high school, the sweep of our first kiss, like 2 leaves in autumn, and echo from making beds. We grew up quickly, but we sure had fun. So glad that we found love, plenty of good love. No matter our age, I still feel the same. You and I'll be friends always. When we're apart, only seasons
Tell me what if they never end? Tell me what if they never I still feel the same. You and I as always. When we're apart, it seems we never change. You and I be friends always. No matter our age, I still feel the same. You and I be friends always. When we're apart, only seasons yeah. No matter the season. No matter the season, winter, spring, summer, fall, I love you through it all.
Thank you guys so much for sticking with me here, and thanks to Signal to Noise. This one is called Break Free. Signal to Noise, congrats on the 100 episodes. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for making this happen. And I'm going to leave you with a new one, exclusively here on Signal to Noise. This one's called Sun Goes Down. Signal Noise, love you. Thank you. Mike Green.